Well, today is another day, and today we're going to cook something that I was just talking to my little granddaughter about, and that's making chicken, stuffing the chicken breast with some spinach and some goat cheese, and we're going to do that today, but we're only going to use 2 chicken breasts. And what you see here, I've already cut 2 chicken breasts in half, and then I've just kind of slit and made like little pockets. Now these are the lower ends, so these are a little smaller, but I'll tell you what, once we get done stuffing them, they pop right in. Oh, now this is what I wanted to show you. I left this one, that's all I did. Nothing really ingenious, just kind of make a little slit there. Take your sharp knife, make a nice deep pocket, because you want to get the stuffing, the spinach and goat cheese there. All right, so we're going to leave that. Now I'm going to just, well, let me just, I can keep my hands. No, I better wash my hands. Guess I should have done that secondly, but what we're going to do is show you how I did the spinach. And there's several ways of doing it. You could use fresh. You could buy a nice big bag of fresh, and you could put some oil and garlic in your kettle, your skillet, and you can fry up the garlic. What I did this time, I took even a shorter cut. I bought chopped spinach, and it's okay, folks. It's homemade, but you're using some ingredients that will shorten your time. And what I did is I just cut up some garlic, and I threw in some basil. I love basil, so I put some crushed basil in there. So what I'm going to do here is I have a prep bowl, which is nothing other than, you don't want to be dipping your hands into all that spinach when you're not going to use all that for 4 little chicken breasts. So I'm taking out about what I think I'm going to use. And as you can see, I probably took out half the amount. And that was a 20-ounce bag of frozen spinach. And then what I have over here is I put some goat cheese. I like the goat cheese because goat cheese is very soft. You can use feta. I prefer goat cheese. I think goat milk products are so good and healthy for you. And then over here I melted a half a stick of butter. Well, and let's see. And into this, I'm going to take 1 clove of garlic. And again, this is a shortcut. You know, it's all about, I don't really have a whole lot of time, but you know what? I want to make a really nice meal for my next door neighbor, for instance. So what I'm doing is just taking a shortcut. And I'm, instead of doing this all in the frying pan, because you could put garlic and oil in your skillet, get a dirty another skillet if you want to. I choose not to. And then what you can do is you can brown your garlic in a skillet, and then you can put in the melted butter into your skillet, and then we're going to put in some panko breadcrumbs, because that's going to be our topping. But I chose to just melt my butter, put the butter in raw without cooking it, because it's going to bake in the oven. And then I'm going to put, I'm going to coat about maybe 3/4 cup of my panko breadcrumbs. And just kind of cut this all in together. See, with this recipe, really you want to get everything prepped. It's so important because it's such an easy recipe. And I'll tell you what, folks, when it's done, it looks like you spent all day in the kitchen. And nobody needs to know that but you and me, that it just took a really short time. There we go. Now, there's our breadcrumbs. What I sometimes like to do as well is throw a little, I love the green, I love green. So throw in some parsley, crushed parsley, and then with a nice garlic flavor. If you wanted to, you could also put basil in there to complement the basil in the spinach. That would be okay too. All right, so now we're going to bring our guys over here. This is, whoops, that's going to be at the end. So we're going to put that over there. This is our baking dish. We're just going to drizzle some olive oil on that, because we're going to lay our finished products there. And what I like to do first is take some pepper and some salt. I think chicken tastes better if you just lightly salt and pepper both sides. It really kind of needs that missing ingredient. And the goat cheese that we're using really is not a real salty product either. Alrighty, now we're going to turn these guys over. We're going to start, I'll put my dish over here. How's that, so you can see better. Again, it's very simple. Just divide your products into portions. We're going to divide the spinach into about 4. You can eyeball it, but if you need to see. And then I'm just going to push the spinach way to the back. And now we're going to put some goat cheese in there. Maybe add another wee bit more of spinach. There we go. Now it doesn't look like a lot, but again, it really is. And when it's done, you're going to see what I mean, because these are going to cook. They're going to bulk right up. There we go. You want a good show of the spinach. And if you wanted to drop a little bit more of the goat cheese in there on the outside, go for it. All right, now we're going to lay it in our oiled baking dish. Now this part is the top of the chicken breast, which obviously is the bigger part. It's thicker. Here we go. So you just kind of lay it open. If you can do a pocket, sometimes the chickens, they're just not even. And so you just do the best that you can and just cut however much you can. There, I've got them all stuffed, as you can see. And now I'm just going to take the panko buttered breadcrumbs that I've put some fresh garlic in and a little bit of parsley. You could use basil. You can dress it up with any herb you want and just lay it on top. And it's okay if some falls by the wayside. It will just crisp up, believe me, in the oven. It will not be a problem. So what I do is I just try to stick it on there with my hand, because that's kind of what the butter does. It gives it a little more of a thickness too. Here we go. And then they'll be all ready to go in the oven. Again, press it firmly. This guy could use a little bit more up here, and so can this gal over here, the little one. The one I'm going to eat. There we go. And now we're going to drizzle just a wee bit more oil. You got to always add some extra virgin olive oil to when you're baking chicken. Okay. And now that's going to be in my preheated oven. I'm going to put it in. I've got the temperature up to 425 degrees. We're going to stick it in till it's done. And you'd be surprised, at that temperature, it's probably going to be done in 25 minutes, 30, but check it with a thermometer always and see when it's done. Well, this is my chicken breast stuffed with the spinach and goat cheese. Remember, we flavored it with garlic and some basil, crushed basil. So what I'm going to do right now, I've let them set. They've been cooking in my oven at 425, probably 25 to 30 minutes. I waited until the thermometer came out at 165 degrees. Look at that. Look at the size of that. Isn't that delicious looking? We're going to just take a slice right here. And you know what's really nice about this meal? You've got your chicken and your vegetable together. And like myself, I like to bring dishes to my neighbors or anybody in need. So what I do is I make things ahead a lot of times. That's hot. And I stick things in the freezer, such as some stuffing when I made around Christmas time. I had a lot left over. So what I did is I put it in another container, and I stuck it in my freezer. I just put this in the oven, and I just baked it because I want to bring a little bit of my spread stuffing that I made. So these are kind of neat things you can do, and instead of going out and just buying things, is when people are not feeling well, they want something homemade. Oh, that's delicious. Yummy. And you know the beautiful thing about this, look at that. The taste with the goat cheese gets so creamy. Okay. It gets very creamy, and the flavor makes it very rich and gourmet tasting. The panko gives it a really nice crunch. So with a little bit of stuffing on the side, you can bring this nice dinner over to anyone at any time. And for my recipe for today, my chicken stuffed with spinach and goat cheese, go on to my website, memorableFoodDishes.com. And I hope you realize how easy it is to bring good memories into making a simple dish like chicken look like you've been in the kitchen all day. So enjoy, folks.